Thank you for joining us from all over the world. As we are speaking, I'm actually in South Africa right now, here with family, and super excited to be here, and hopefully we can address some of your FAQs. You know, we did ask you beforehand to send in your FAQs, so we will certainly try to get through all of those FAQs. The good news and the bad news is if we do not get to your FAQs, we obviously will reach out to you privately in some capacity or another. But for those of you that have asked, you know, kind of submitted your FAQs, super thank you. Super cool. Thank you so much. Connie, what are you thinking? What would you like me to do?
I think we start out.
Make you happy, Connie.
Let's go with Neurovisor.
Oh, the Neurovisor. Check it out, actually. So for those of you, you may have actually seen us promoting this device. This is actually what it looks like, strange enough. And if I take this off, this is basically the diode. So there's nine diodes in there. And the way this technology works, I'm still trying to get my head around it myself, to be real honest with you. But in terms of the results, it's been actually pretty cool. Yesterday, I connected this, and then this morning, actually. This morning, I connected the Neurovisor, and then as I launched the Genius at the same time, I literally felt like a kind of surge of energy. It was actually kind of pretty wild. What is really cool with this technology, as you can see, it's called the Neurovisor. It's got 9 different lights. What is cool about this technology is that it actually drives LEDs based upon specific soundscapes or specific kind of musical compositions that have been created. Now, the way it's been created, call it a gift from God or whatever it is, but right now we can actually run the Genius at the exact same time that we can run the Neurovisor. So the idea behind this is that you can do the Neurovisor, like a lot of the treatments are between 11 to about sort of 15 minutes. So you can run that treatment, but then while you're running that treatment with the Neurovisor, you can still continue using the Genius, and you can actually still even balance with the Genius as well. What I will do probably next week is Garnet Dupree. I'll get him to come in and join us, and he'll certainly share some more insights about the Neurovisor. But yeah, it's super exciting. You know, just let me tell you the experiences. There's probably, I think it's about 240 different soundscapes or different audio files that you can listen to. You close your eyes. The actual, you know, the audio is not so important, but it's the audio that actually shapes the LEDs. And as your eyes are closed, I kid you not, I could see the most phenomenal sacred geometrical patterns, the most phenomenal lights, and just these changing sequences and everything else. It was really it was a great experience. I mean, and there's all different collections, and you know, we've been working through them here, and I must be honest, so far I'm loving the device. The fact that we've got it to be able to integrate with the Genius is even better as well. So that's kind of cool.
Okay, what about exporting it to a capsule client?
Okay, Connie, thank you for that question. That actually opens up a kind of big sort of Pandora's box here. And, you know, I really want to stress that what we have done to integrate the Genius together with the Neurovisor is within the Genius, we have built a testing module. That testing module, you basically run a scan, you look at the results, and then those results will give you an indication or a probability of which custom playlist would be the most beneficial for you. So the idea then is you actually launch the Neurovisor, you locate that specific playlist, and then you play that frequency. Now, while you're actually playing that frequency, you can do one of two things. That specific frequency, you can actually drag into a test tray within the Genius, and then you can provide balancing. So now you've got LED stimulation, and then you've got electromagnetic at the same time. So that's typically what you can do. Currently, Connie, to answer your question right now, no, it is not set to be able to export to the Quanta capsule. And, you know, really the idea behind the Neurovisor and the additional module that we've got, you know, I really want to emphasize that the Neurovisor and the audio playlist, they work together. So just creating an actual, like a library with all the different NeuroVisor playlists and dragging those into one of the trays, it's a completely different process to actually having the NeuroVisor with the, with the LEDs, with the strobes actually going into your brain and kind of changing your sort of neuroplasticity. So, there really is a kind of fundamental difference on that. And I really want to emphasize, in my opinion, almost by creating a separate testing panel and not using the NeuroVisor, it kind of defeats the object, because the NeuroVisor combined with the right soundscapes is really what makes the magic.
All righty. Question number 2. What is the new BioVibe app that's on the Black Friday specials?
Connie, that's a great question, and I'd like to redirect that question to you. Just joking.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, so the BioVibe app is basically a hybrid of the Odyssey app with new lipstick. What I mean by that is the Odyssey will still be around. That will not be going anywhere. We will always have the Odyssey. But we felt that we wanted to try to go after a different market, like a different vertical market. We wanted to create like a young, sort of hip, trendy looking application that would be considered easy to use and wouldn't require much user brain power. And it was designed, really for the sort of younger generation. So in many ways, the underlying architecture in terms of the Odyssey, it's the exact same as the BioVibe, but really we've just kind of tweaked the designs. Obviously, if you download it, you can have a look at the designs. We've tweaked the designs and we've just tried to make it a bit more intuitive and a bit easier to use. And that's really, the biggest difference. As I said, in terms of the software architecture, it's pretty much the same. The database is pretty much the same. It's just the patterns and the colors and the shapes and the branding and the user interface is what we changed.
But I think there was a point where I think something was said that one is going to like replace the other, which is absolutely not the case. It's a totally separate app.
The initial, Connie, it's a great point. My initial thought was, what the Odyssey can replace, and we can migrate everyone from the Odyssey over to the thing is. But I thought, what on earth for? I mean, the Odyssey is a great product. It's a great product. BioVibe is just another brand. It's just another look. It's another vertical market. So yes, I agree with you. We don't need to close down one and just jump on board with another.
All right. What is the VoiceWise biometry report feature that's in the app? Can you explain that?
Well, I probably could explain it. I'd probably get dangerous in trying to explain it, to be honest, but I'll give you some history. How does that sound?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so about 7, 8, 9 months ago, I met a couple. Actually, I was in Santa Barbara at that time, and there was a genius couple. I think they were celebrating their wedding anniversary, and they were driving through Santa Barbara. So they invited me for breakfast, which I met them for breakfast, and that was Michelle and Matt. And we hit it off, and they were telling me what they were doing within their practice currently, and they were showing me these reports. So I looked at these reports and I thought, oh my God, these reports look really, really awesome. And then he was telling me that they already had a programmer that was basically taking all of their results, putting it into an Excel spreadsheet, and then creating a database. And then they've got all these different algorithms to create different scoring systems and then to categorize them into different pillars of health and everything else. That as I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is kind of cool. And so, we kind of began a sort of very generic conversation just in terms of, how could we make this work? How could we streamline the process? And, they were really excited about it as well. And, with that, we began to move forward with trying to sketch out a way that we could kind of automate the process to be able to generate the reports. So really, the reporting, the VoiceWise reporting is really the work and development of both, Michelle and Matt, in terms of they've basically created a custom testing library. I think there's about 1,400 items in there. And then from that, there's all different weighted scales depending on the results. And it goes up and down by literally 1%. And at the end of the day, it creates a really good report, really easy to understand. And I would definitely recommend, if you haven't had a look at those reports, go ahead and try one. At the moment now, you can get 3 free downloads, which we're going to change to 1 within the next couple of weeks, to be candid. And then if you want to, I believe for Black Friday, we have a special. So if you wanted to order some more reports, and then, obviously moving forward, if you wanted to order the reports as well. So what does this mean for you, I guess? It's probably the question. My sense with this is that depending if you're a practitioner, or if you're starting out to be a practitioner, or if you just have it for your own home use, you can generate a report like this, and you can charge $100, $150 for that report with the evaluation. So the idea is not to create the report and then they end up contacting, Michelle and Matt. No, they create the report. They give you the practitioner, the Genius practitioner, the report. They will train you on how to interpret the results and what the results mean. And then you have a really cool report that you can sit down with your client and you can actually have an intelligent conversation with them and show them, what's coming up and basically what's not. And for me, again, the thing that I was excited about is just the concept that at the end of the day, we want to be able to synthesize information. We want to be able to relay that information back to the client, because at the end of the day, there's 2 or 3 things. You want your repeat business. And in order to get your repeat business, you need to have a relationship with your client, obviously. Your client needs to feel the benefit, obviously. And then third, your client needs to be able to assimilate and understand the information that you're sharing with them. So just in terms of that reporting system that came out, I thought it was absolutely wonderful. And I just think it's a great opportunity for those of you that are, maybe you're not medically trained, maybe you don't understand a lot of the content behind the Genius. Guess what? You can push a button, generate a report, and get a really good detailed report that you can provide to your client. The end.
The end. That's awesome. And we have a YouTube video about it too, if anybody wants to look at that. All right. What can we expect in terms of future updates? Will they be coming soon?
Well, that's a great question. The good news is we have full-time development staff and they work 43 hours a week each. And we are always chopping and changing and doing new stuff. As of right now, we are working on some new voice algorithms, which are kind of cool. So that's can't really divulge too much in that. But, at the end of the day, the concept with voice analysis and vocal biomarkers is it's a very dynamic process, and it's always constantly changing. And, we are all looking for a magic silver bullet. We haven't found the magic silver bullet. I don't think anyone has yet. But with that said, we have been working with another company for the last 4 or 5 months, just trying to refine some of the components to the voice analysis to make it a bit more, just to try to improve I don't want to say the accuracy of it, but we just want to try to improve the overall conceptual idea behind the actual voice analysis in terms of how we actually extrapolate the frequencies and then how we compare them to the different sets of sort of database. So we've kind of been working on that in the sort of background. What I was thinking of doing, and I'd be kind of curious to hear from all of you, we were thinking about creating a web page on the website, or maybe we could even do it on Kajabi. No, I don't think we can. Maybe on the website. And ideally, what I would like to do is lay out a roadmap of maybe the next 10 or 15 or 20 different tasks that we can work on, and really get feedback from you as our practitioners in terms of what we should be focusing on. There's one thing that I've learned time and time again, and I haven't learned. There's a mistake that I make time and time again, and I still haven't actually learned from that mistake. And that is, I kind of run off on these great software ideas and I build, and boom, boom, boom. And then 3, 4, 5 months later, we release a new software. And really what I should have done is actually listen to our community, which is you people that have joined us here. So for those of you, thank you, that try to keep me on track. I really do appreciate it. So with that said, what we would like to do is to have a web page, 10 or 15 items, and then you vote. Depending on the vote will help us kind of focus what we need to work on. But right now, Connie, just seeing as though you're so nice and it's coming up to Friday, right now we are currently working on the app marketplace, and we are trying to find ways where we can improve the user experience. For those of you that don't know, on the Genius, there's the app marketplace where you can go and purchase libraries. one of the great benefits with the ability to purchase libraries from there is that you purchase, you pay, they get delivered directly to your Genius profile. There's no emails. There's no waiting for the practitioner to be able to release the code to you or anything like that. It's a super simple, seamless process. So that's the benefit that we have with that. But then we started looking at it and said, well, okay, so we got many practitioners that have 1,200 libraries and 1,500 libraries and 2,000 libraries. Now, if you had to have like 2,000 libraries or 10,000 libraries in a mobile application, I don't even know how you could actually scroll through or identify something to purchase out of 10 or 12,000 items. It just doesn't really make much sense. So, what we are currently doing at the moment is we are building a kind of tag. It's basically a tag or a sort of searchable index. So what that means is that when you get, well, first and foremost, for all of the library creators, they are going to have the option of each and every library, they can create a series of tags. So the tags could be, like digestion, autoimmune, and maybe bacteria as an example. I think we've got about 25 pre-populated tabs. So for each library, they can select 3 to 5 different tabs. And then that basically will lock that specific library to those different tags. And then they can then go to the marketplace, and then you'll have 20 or 25 different tags that you can click on immediately. So you just click on digestion, and then all of the libraries that are related to digestion will appear, and then you can kind of add to cart, or you can click on autoimmune or whatever it is. That's what we currently are working on now. And then after that, we will be looking at integrating a new aspect of the voice analysis. But, in terms of where is this going right now, or what do we expect in terms of, software updates? I got to be candid. It's, the software updates need to be driven by our community. So I kind of am asking each and every one of you, like, reach out to me, tell me, hey, I'd really like to see this, or think of a new module, maybe there's a new module that we can look at. I'm always open to feedback. We love working on new projects. And the thing that I say with software is that, really the cool thing with software is that anything is possible. So please, those of you that are in the community, think about it, reach out to us, hit Connie up. I'll give you her direct number. She loves calls between 2 and 4 in the morning. She's on fire then. So definitely give her a call from there during that time. I actually have a kind of like an automated phone system. I call her every 30 minutes between 2 and 4 o'clock. It's actually kind of cool. It works really well. So that's the idea, is that we really want to enroll you in this whole process, because if I look back in terms of where our technology is, where it was, and how it's grown, it kind of drives me insane when people say, oh my gosh, Ryan, you're the developer. It's like, no, I'm not really. It's really the user group that are the developers, because it's you guys come to us, you give us feedback, and then, once we've got cool ideas, it's pretty easy to program. Well, it's easier to program.
That kind of, it goes with another question that came in. She asked, is there a way to index, for example, write frequencies that are split within different libraries? So, which you can answer that, but she's wanting to identify all of the write frequency line items that are mixed amongst multiple panels.
Okay, but why?
I'm not sure. It was just a question, and she was, like, is there a way to index and pull write frequencies specifically from all of the library panels where they're located, which at this time there is not.
Yeah, and no, we don't have that, and that's not a possibility. But hey, is that something that would be cool to do? Maybe. That's why Connie's going to build up a page on the website between 2 and 4 in the morning, and then we'll have 10 or 15 projects that we're working on, and then you can vote on that.
Absolutely. Okay. What sets the Genius apart from other similar products out there?
I'd say Connie.
To what?
I'd say Connie, your customer service. You got Connie. That's a machine.
Right. How do you get distributor level, for example, like Ariel Policano or Chris Thompson in France?
Wait, you haven't even answered the first question yet. I think there's more to share.
Oh, no, it's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, you're going a bit blushy there, are you? Oh, that's adorable. So, what sets the Genius apart from the other technology? In a nutshell, the ability that we can both analyze and balance at the same time. The big caveat or the big bonus for us is, I think, the quanta capsule, the ability to create your libraries. Oh, that's the other thing. We're changing new formulas to create libraries, just to answer your other question, by the way. So we got that, the ability for the quanta capsule, the libraries, and then the actual voice analysis, so we can get a kind of tailored approach to be able to generate frequencies to your client. I'm not going to go into the kind of the individual item by item by item, but I think it's important for us to focus on our main features or our main key points. When people always come in and they say, oh, how is this device compared to the Healy device or this device or that device? To me, every device has its merits. And I would be the last one to shoot down any device, because I've been around these devices for 25, maybe 30 years now. And every device just has a different process. They have a different theory. They have a different type of technology that you employ. And to try to compare the Genius to the Healy or the Genius to another device or another device to another device, it's kind of different. It's kind of difficult, because it's like we're all starting in kind of different points, because our theory and our belief system is completely different. We're all trying to get to the same point. We're trying to get to the root of the problem, but we could be starting on the complete opposite sides. So my sense is that I hate to say that ours is better than another device. It is, which I'm not going to lie, but certainly our device has a lot of benefits, and our device gets a lot of results. And the idea here was to create a piece of technology that was affordable and would always be affordable, that everyone could get access to.
Okay. Do you want to address how you would become a distributor, or would those people, whomever asked that question, need to contact you directly?
No, I don't want to address that, but by all means, obviously people like Ariel and Chris Thompson, they've been with us literally from conception, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, they have been. Yes, in fact, they have been. Literally the day we launched the Genius, they had already been working with us kind of 6 months or 2-3 years, no, even 2 or 3 years prior to that. So, obviously this is in terms of the way I see our business, this is, we're a small business. We're a dynamic company. We chop and change frequently, because Connie and Kayla always make changes without me. No, many jokes. To me, we're a small company. We're fluid. We like to be fluid. We like to be lean. We like to be receptive to feedback. We like to be able to kind of make changes and kind of move forward like that. So, in terms of becoming a distributor now, typically it's based on sort of performance, depending on how many units you move over a period of time. But again, that's not a discussion for public. If someone is interested in that, by all means, please, reach out to me.
Okay. I am a new Genius owner. Please explain the best way for me to become an affiliate, because I see multiple options.
Okay, great question. My sense on this is that the best way to be able to track Genius sales, in fact, the only way to 100% track Genius sales, is to log into your Genius app, click on your direct referral link, and send out that direct referral link. If you don't know how to do that, reach out in the chat or something like that, and we can send you quick instructions on that. But that is the best way for you to be able to guarantee a sale. And look, I understand in our industry, it's very difficult to kind of broach the topic of sales and referrals and affiliates and everything else. But let me just be candid. I mean, we are a bioenergetic company. We offer training, we offer support, we offer sales. The reality is the sales is basically what drives the training. The sales is what drives the product development. The sales is what drives, Connie to be happy. Isn't it true, Connie?
Yes, absolutely.
So with all of that, it's, we are a sales company. We're certainly not perfect. We certainly like to look after our affiliates. The challenge that we have is there's probably 3 or 4 different affiliate accounts or affiliate websites that are out there right now. Example, there's ours. There's, I believe, Chris Thompson. I think Julia has an affiliate process. Ariel Policano has an affiliate process. And the problem is, when you have all those different affiliate programs trying to run within the same ecosystem, someone can only be linked to one affiliate process. So if somebody signs up through our website as an affiliate, and then that person ends up visiting Chris Thompson's website and buys through him, well, he doesn't have the affiliate connected to you. So you've basically lost out on that sale. So in summary, direct referral link from within the Genius app.
Thank you. All right. Can you make it so that the name of the person I'm sending frequencies to is on the screen as I'm working?
So in software development, we have something called real estate. It's called, and if you look on your screen like this, that's real estate, right? That's our virtual real estate. So my question to you is, sure, we can do that, but where do you want it? Like, you know, where do you want it? Because when we have the Genius open, I mean, when we've got the Genius open, I mean, there's a lot of buttons and features and benefits and everything else. Well, there's a lot of buttons there. There's a lot of activity here. So my question is, where do you want the person's name? I mean, it's over here, right? Correct?
Right.
But where else would you, and equally, I guess my other question as well is why? So at the end of the day, I know I said to all of you, please, give me some great ideas about software development, but please just think of the why. Think of the why. And that's my question. Like, if we want the name on the person's, on that main page, like where and why?
All right, let's see. Please explain how a treatment may differ if I'm using a hardware item, for example, the Geo or the PEMF. Or
okay.
How does versus just listening to the audio tones through the phone?
For sure.
The difference.
Okay, so there's a few thought processes here. The one option is that if you actually have headphones, you can place those headphones over specific localized areas of your body for kind of localized balancing. That's just one thing to bear in mind. Typically, when you're listening to the audio sounds, you are listening to sound healing, right? When we use the harnesses, like the Geo harness or the wearable PMF, etc., what we are doing with that is we are taking the sound and we're converting it to a different frequency spectrum. So you've got sound, and then you've got electromagnetic frequency spectrum. So now we take that sound, we plug in the Geo harness, and what it does is on the back of that Geo harness, there's three kind of black little circles. They are called transducers. And then from the signal coming into the Geo harness, it then creates an electromagnetic frequency. Typically, the body is a lot more receptive to electromagnetic frequencies. So that's the first part. And then the second part is with the wearable, PMF, and LED. There, we obviously take again the signal from the Genius, and then we run it through a pulsed electromagnetic field, and then we run it through LEDs, light-emitting diodes as well. So now when you've got the wearable connected, when you're running the Genius, and just as a kind of word of caution, if you have hardware connected to your body, and for some reason you are still hearing the audio through your phone, then it's not connected properly. So just kind of bear that in mind. But my sense on this is that the wearable technology takes the sound, converts it to pulsed. It's a very low level Gauss. So it converts it to a pulsed electromagnetic field. And then we have red and infrared light diodes. And then, obviously the harness you can apply here, or you can actually apply it anywhere around your body for localized balancing.
Okay, the next one I think is maybe this user doesn't know about the library dashboard search feature, but it says, I would like to be able to search for a panel when I'm exporting it for efficiency. Is this something that you could add?
Okay, I'll chime in on this one because this frustrates me personally too. When you're sending a custom panel, you can use the side scroll, that's fine. But if you have 10,000 panels, for example, in there, and you want to find one panel in the 10,000, it's still going to take so much time. Where if there was a search like search function maybe underneath the name or the email that you're exporting to type in exactly the panel you want. I just think that would help the efficiency of exporting a custom panel.
But doesn't it have like the ABCD scroll? Does that
No,
not?
it totally does. But say you have like 100 items and just A.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So I just, maybe it's obviously not an only problem. Not just me has the problem, which is great to know.
So you could just add a search feature under like the email.
Yeah, that would be great.
I'm confused.
We'll explain.
Okay, we can discuss this later because we're such an internal team, but for anyone else there that's wondering, at least the question has been risen.
Yes. Okay. Ryan, some users skip the voice or image. How does the app generate a result?
This kind of goes back, it brings me back to a conversation that I had with, in all fairness, probably one of the guys that I learned a lot about this industry. Well, he used to be a guy, which was kind of cool. And I used to talk to him about this as well, because he had developed another quantum biofeedback device. And I used to ask him about it because, they would have a calibration process and then something else and something else. And a lot of or even some practitioners, would not even use the harness. Say, well, I don't feel I need to use the harness. So I can get a better result without the harness or whatever it is. And, I'm not here to criticize anyone in terms of the way they utilize this technology. But really what the guy was saying, even back then, he said, you know what, if you want the best for your clients, take 2 or 3 minutes, whatever it takes. Take 2 or 3 minutes and do a voice recording and do an image analysis. It's not going to be a killer, because at the end of the day, that's the data that we need to be able to run the calculations, etc. If you do not put in that data, it kind of switches over to a radionic rate, which is something that, yes, it's still valid and applicable. But my sense is, and it's the same as like when you create libraries. The first option is to know the specific frequencies. If you know the specific frequencies, you bang those you bang those frequencies in. If you don't, we use the archetype encoding process or whatever it is. But for me, when you're working with your clients, give them the best service. Don't skip doing a voice analysis because you don't have 25 seconds or a minute of your time. Take that minute, make it happen.
Okay, that reminds me, I have a lot of people who ask about how you do this for an animal as far as like voice.
Yeah, so that's like a surrogate, kind of surrogate testing. What a lot of our practitioners do is they hold the dog or the animal, hand on the heart, hand on their hearts, and then they say a E, I, O, U, and then an affirmation.
Awesome. Let's see.
Connie, you're frowning a lot.
No, I'm reading at the same time. Sorry.
All right. Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Can we go over the packages?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe talk about, because now you have the limited version.
Yeah. So you know what? It's a great idea. So about 2 weeks ago, we launched some new packages and we kind of made a few changes, and I'll tell you why we did make a few changes. First and foremost, I'd actually like to spend some time on this because it's been a bit of an interesting journey for me. When you have a type of preconceived idea that something's going to happen and it doesn't happen, it's always interesting. So when we got onto the App Store, I had this preconceived idea that we would go from the way our business was now, that suddenly we would like explode and explode and explode, and we would have nothing but all these great problems to have, because as soon as you're on the App Store, that's my naivety thinking, oh my gosh, life is great. So that was my first thinking. And as time went on, it really made me realize that, people that go to that download apps from the App Store, they're looking for a $1.99 quick fix or a $3.99 quick fix, not a $1,000.97 quick fix, as an example. But nonetheless, we did get a lot of feedback from those practitioners, from those users, and literally every probably about 95% of them, they all said it was too expensive. In all fairness, yes, maybe it was. And in all fairness, maybe we had the wrong target demographic because, we were thinking from the App Store, it wouldn't be a problem. However, in hindsight, that certainly was a problem. And that is what we learned our lesson, is that just because it's on the App Store, it doesn't mean that your business is going to go from, doing X number of sales to quadrupling it or something like that. You still have to go back and kind of, work with your clients, et cetera, which is, what we have been doing anyway. But because of so much feedback that we got that it was too expensive, it kind of helped us to reevaluate our situation and then look at how this product could evolve. Now, if you remember, when we first launched it on the App Store, we had like the Genius Light and then the Genius Mind and then the Genius Body and the Biofield and all of these different in-app purchases. And we needed to create those in-app purchases to basically satisfy Apple's requirements. As you know, well, I don't know if you know this, but with Apple, when you build a mobile application, they charge you 30% commission in terms of any income that's generated. So any income that's generated, through the app, we basically have to pay Apple 30% because it's on the App Store. So any in-app purchases that we do, and this is why we had, the Mind, the Body, the Biofield, the Light purchase, and all those different amount purchases, because in order for us to get our app approved, they didn't want to approve it for $1,000 because they said it was just too expensive. So then we had to create these different in-app purchases. So after running that cycle for about 6 weeks, we looked at that, and we definitely had a huge bump in sales and people, buying the Genius Light for, I think it was $29 or something like that. But it just didn't really make much sense to us. And then we started looking at our product and thought, well, hang on. The two or three biggest things are the library, the quantum capsule, and the quantum capsule, and then the voice analysis. So then we kind of got to thinking, well, hang on, what if we can drop the price down to $497, and then we have a package at $997, and then we have more of your kind of practitioner package, and we'll kind of see where we go with that. So the thought with having a $497 package, I thought was kind of appealing. And as I said, we have sold the Genius Insights for $1,000 for the last 7, 8, 9 years. And the reason why we've done that is because I've just always felt that I've been involved in this industry for a long time, and I used to sell $20,000 quantum biofeedback products. These products would cost $500 to make. The markups on them were, to me, very, very insane. And this is why, when we developed the Genius, the goal was to make this cheap and affordable for anyone that wants to have access to bioresonance type of technology. That's why we kept everything under $1,000, and $997 is our package that we've had for years and years and years and years and years. So then we got to thinking, as we went through this in-app process, we thought, well, hang on, what if we can get another Genius, drop it down to $497, but then make some limitations? So we've now done that, and the Genius, it's called the Home Essentials package. It's perfect for someone that A, doesn't really have the finances yet, and then B, as a perfect kind of home introductory kind of sort of product. The biggest difference with the $497 Home Essentials is that the only access that you get to the libraries is the ability to purchase libraries from the library marketplace. So with the $497, you cannot use the Insight Quanta capsule. And we figured that many people that are buying this are buying it for their own personal use, so they probably wouldn't want the quantum capsule. And then we created some limits on the library functionality. So currently on the $497, you cannot create a library, you cannot share a library, you cannot import, you cannot export a library. The only thing you can do is go to the app marketplace and then purchase a library from the app marketplace. And to me, that's really the sort of biggest difference that we did. And I know this is being blasted out publicly, but the reality is, we just felt that if we look at the lifetime value of our clients, we want to get people in the door. We want to introduce people to our technology. And to me, the thing that kind of drives me insane is that if price is an issue, if people seriously can't afford it, then you know what? That's something that we need to look at. It's something that we need to address. My goal here with this technology is to make this affordable to everyone. So, we just feel that offering a $497 package, it's a nice little hybrid. It gives the person working from home great opportunity to kind of get their foot in the door. And I mean, even that $497 package, what you pay $99 down, and then you pay what, like 497. So you pay $400 over 12 months or 11 months, I guess.
Right.
What's that, like $44 a month?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to pretend it's $44 a month. So the reality is $99 down and $44 a month. Now, the way we've got the Genius, set up, etc., it's like, I think that's kind of pretty cool.
All right, and then your next package is $997.
Yeah, and you can go to our website and learn about them.
Yes, and a Practitioner Plus package.
Definitely available on the website where you can learn more about it. Oh, do you want me to go through the individual items? No, that's too long.
Okay.
Yeah, so, that's the thing. I will say, we have our 3 main packages, and the idea is to kind of chop and change our packages all the time to make it exciting and to give people different options. But, we do a lot of custom kind of package build outs as well, where some people, they want this and this, but not this and not that. That sort of makes sense. But, please kind of do expect that these packages will be changing, every kind of 6 or 8 weeks.
Gentle reminder that the Black Friday right now, if you spend $1,500 or more, you get the NeuroVisor.
Hey, I got a question for you. We just said it was $1,500 on a Genius, but should we expand it and just say if they spend $1,500 on our website?
We did do that too. That's on there as well on the email. So anyone that spends $1,500 or more, that's applicable to the NeuroVisor, correct?
Yeah.
I did want to chime in, and anyone that has the $497 and does want to upgrade to the $997, Karen just brought up that we do offer an option to upgrade, but this is like pretty exclusive and email only. So please email in, and we can work with you to get you to the unlimited version of the Genius.
So one of these can be yours. And I've got it facing the wrong way, just by the way. But yeah, really cool.
All right. I think that's all the questions that we have written down. Do you want to add anything? I do have a final question.
Yeah, I do. Yes. Okay.
I'll go first. What do you see in the future with the Genius Insight app?
I knew you were going to ask me that, actually.
Yes.
Truthfully, I see that, no, I don't know. In my opinion, I feel there's been a lot of changes within people's psyche over the last 3 or 4 weeks. And I think that alternative medicine in general is going to get a major, major push, a major, major boost. I think people already now, if you look around, people are questioning, people are asking the right questions now. And as long as people are asking the right questions, I think the dynamic that we've all been working can actually change. And where I see this technology, I see this expanding. I see it literally becoming a product in every single household. We need to make some changes from our technical side to be able to make that work. But certainly the stars are looking aligned in that way.
They really are. Okay. You have anything you want to add in?
Yes, I do. No, actually, I don't know. But, again, for those of you that are here, I'm so bummed. I'm actually not even going to be there for Thanksgiving. It would have been my first Thanksgiving as an American citizen as well. That would have been like super special.
You can still virtually celebrate. It's okay. We're here.
I'm not doing that flipping COVID stuff. I'm done with that. Not a chance. I'll just stay here and have a swim or something like that. Anyway, so no, that's it. But I really want to thank each and every one of you. And I think we answered all your questions. I'm sorry to mute all of you. Please don't take it personally. It's just, when we hear about other people's dogs and cats and having to call other people back, it kind of throws me off the loop.
Yeah, and we'll be sending out an email for another Q&A, and please make sure to submit your questions. This is very successful, and we're really excited to bring this to you guys and give you a little insider scoop on the internals that go on behind the scenes and to know that we're a real company with real people, and we're really happy to serve you guys.
You know, I wanted to add before we close out, you know, I think one of the greatest things about the Genius is it empowers our awareness, but it's super important that we try and not focus on the low vibration energy that becomes greater in your awareness, because you can inadvertently become that. And it's going to be exciting.
I agree.
I agree.
Lots more changes as well. All right, everyone, have a good day. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.